Today, Minecraft is a game full of sweats, mental hospital escapees, cringe talentless losers who try to appeal to every 6-year-old in the world, and grown adults who are actually more attracted to the age rating of the game rather than the game itself. But about a decade ago, Minecraft wasn't so complicated and was actually an enjoyable experience. So when I got my Xbox 360 back in 2014 at the ripe age of 6, I got to experience everything it had to offer firsthand, like Xbox Live voice chat. Oh, and Minecraft Xbox 360 edition.
Where the hood at? And the niggas at the club where the hood at? He's not. If I get banned, I'm gonna come to your house and kill everyone in your family, and especially you, and I'm gonna eat your eyes. And guess what? When you're dead, I'm gonna fuck your body. Bars are harder than a fucking prison bar. I fucked you up. I fucked you, bitch. I fucked you twice. That's why you broke up with her.
One of the best legacy ports ever produced before Microsoft turned it into a shitty and more bland version of the game that it is now today. And I'm sure without a doubt that we've all pondered to ourselves before, what it would be like to go back. Well, I asked myself that exact same question 4 months ago! When I was inside my local half-price books, I saw an Xbox 360 sitting on the shelf for 70 bucks, claiming to be in full working order. And if you haven't guessed already, I bought it and immediately felt buyer's remorse, namely because I had just spent a full tank of gas on what is now a 20-year-old console. What made it even worse is when I got home and plugged in the thing, the controller battery pack didn't work. So not only was I down 70 bucks, but I was lied to and got a non-working controller. But there is a silver lining. When I got home, I could hear that something was inside the console. So when I pressed the eject button, wouldn't you look at that? You know, I guess that's what they get for lying. You know, they also didn't system wipe the Xbox, so I just have all of this person's information, including their credit cards, which I will not be using. You're welcome. And with God looking out for me, I decided I was gonna make this a tax write-off. After swiftly buying 2 additional controllers, one wireless and one wired, I created a new profile and booted up my childhood. And with that out of the way, let's get started. Of course, the very first thing I needed to do was change my skin. But, like in my childhood, I couldn't buy the skin packs. This time because the shop literally won't let me. Not because I'm broke, don't get it twisted. So I settled for the spider tuck skin and created my world. And after a minute and a half of world generation, as well as seeing exactly where the panorama ends, that I never noticed as a kid, I was finally in. Taking inventory, the only achievement you can ever get from button mashing, and yet still somehow the 1% of players couldn't figure it out. Lovely. Getting wood, the second easiest advancement in the game, and all you have to do is press and hold one button. I would say me finding this village is a stroke of luck, but back in the day, these villages were forced into the world generation, so that the player would have more variety in a rather limited world. Benchmaking. Finally, achievements now have cohesive and precise button presses to be acquired, but they still aren't super impressive. After raiding the village and having a chat with Dr. Treoris, I crafted my first pickaxe. Time to mine. Regardless of the fact that I found an iron pickaxe, I am only allowed to mine after I craft a wooden one first. Another lovely mechanic of Legacy Edition are all the tutorial texts, which give you the option to skip if you press B. But the most likely button you're going to be pressing after entering a menu is A, which, coincidentally, that is the button that tells the game you want to read 20 paragraphs of text. Probably the only thing you'll see me hitting on, because how am I supposed to know to hit the button to exit the thing I'm trying to interact with, so I won't be held hostage until I spam A until the little tutorial is over? Isn't there an entire world made for this specific thing? Why is it raping me with these multiple paragraphs of text? Calm down. Calm down. We're barely 4 minutes into the video. Local brewery. Both back then and today, you don't actually have to brew anything to be considered a local brewery. Awesome. Zombie doctor. Cure a zombie Monster Hunter. Apparently an achievement you can get completely by accident and look like a dumbass doing it. After organizing my inventory, I realized I had completely forgotten that the game always spawned you in with a map of the world. That would actually be really helpful to use right now. So why didn't I? Well, that I can't tell you because I have no idea myself. Cow tipper, something we all achieve after the larger lady with the nose ring asks you to answer the quick question on the screen. After the game assumed I didn't know how to eat food, it gave me the option to learn more by pressing A, right as I was playing the game and wanted to jump, which, wouldn't you know it, also shares a button to jump! So now I have to sit here until the game stops informing me on how to consume food. God, Thank you, Microsoft, for the best-selling game of all time. While running around, I'm grabbing a bunch of things that'll help me towards some other achievements down the road, like some kelp and any flower that I can find. Hot topic. Wait, no, come back. Not that kind of hot topic. The one that you get for crafting a furnace in Xbox 360 edition. Don't worry, I wouldn't force you to do anything that your girl would. Acquire hardware. An achievement not just for acquiring hardware, no, but for making it yourself. Otherwise, the name of the advancement would make too much sense. Time to farm. Make a wooden hoe. And in case you were wondering, yes, the game will not give you this achievement if you craft any higher tier of this tool. Basically giving the most useless tool in the game a purpose. Bake bread. Putting my raw virtues to good use to get an achievement that actually has a name that makes sense. After packing up my stuff, I was running scared through the dark, terrified of what lied in it. And at that very moment, I was attacked by a giant spider! Okay, so instead of giving me like a notification that you've been doing for the past 20 minutes to tell me things and take me out to a menu to show me 10 words of text explaining I unlocked something mid-fight. Thank you, Microsoft. Hot stuff. And no, I'm not talking about your mother. Oh, never, I guess it was an achievement at this point in the game. That's great. Without a bed, I was sort of forced to just wander the world at night because beds wouldn't naturally spawn anywhere in the game in this version. So I had to take refuge at another village I happened to find, which I also ended up robbing. After sitting happily behind a locked door for about 3 minutes, I noticed that the locals happened to succumb to the diseases around them, which happened to be just my luck. Zombie doctor. You're still gonna have to wait to see it. Finally! Time to strike! Craft a wooden sword because anything else just wouldn't do the job right. Getting an upgrade, or in this case, getting a downgrade, because I've already had the successor of this pickaxe for the past 25 minutes. More tools, spelled M-O-A-R, intentionally misspelling the word more, used as an online internet slang to humorously express a desire for greater quantity of something. So this game is encouraging me to hoard useless things. Awesome. Zombie doctor. No, seriously, for real this time. That guy isn't a zombie anymore and will live the rest of his very alive life inside of this hole. Okay, now it's time I get serious. So I went off and made a little shack for my achievement hunting adventures, and I also did a little bit of mining so I could get Iron Man. However, this suit doesn't make me want to quit my cocaine and heroin addiction. Was that a low blow? Have a cheerful day. After that last joke, I don't think I will. Hey, remember that map from earlier? Well, I'm finally using it now. After getting a little more set up in my house, I headed back into the mines to find...
It's diamonds! It's diamonds!
We're rich! Diamond! Ah! If I would have died there, I would have killed myself.
Diamond! Probably one of the best achievements in the game to this day. There's not a single time I haven't been happy to get some diamonds in this game. And this time felt especially joyous for me. And it was an 8 vein! Obviously, while the opportunity presented itself, I mined out all the obsidian I would ever need to use in the game in this version because there wasn't a whole lot of uses for it. And as I went to leave, this happened.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Dude, this is why Minecraft is the game of the fucking century. Bend me over and... Ironically enough, this is where I'm gonna have to give credit to the autosaves. A little trick you can do in this version of the game is leave a world without saving it, basically throwing you back to the last time you yourself either saved the game or the autosave did. So, with this in mind, I went back and survived the green dipshit and I walked out of the cave scot-free. Now that I have all the stone I need, let's finish the house. Cool, now with the living situation out of the way, into the Nether. Probably the most courageous thing I did as a kid. That and play the FNAF 3 demo on my Kindle Fire. After traveling across the whole world in less than 10 minutes, I found what may have been the smallest mushroom island I have ever seen. This one compared to the one I found on my collecting every block video was a pretty insane comparison. After sailing in my boat as the game tried to teach me how to sail in my boat, I ran into my first genuine scare when I approached these two skeletons that ganged up on me by getting in my boat and making me drop my sword, and I actually got the half a heart. Now heading south, I found an arachnophobic ocean monument, a desert, and a shipwreck, and after searching it, I waited for my mining fatigue to go down so I could follow the map I found. Pop quiz! How many tridents will this drown drop? A, 0, B, 1, or secret answer number C, 2. If you guessed C, you would somehow be fucking right. Both had completely different durabilities, so it wasn't a duplication glitch, and it genuinely dropped 2 tridents after it was killed. I have literally never seen that before. And now, here comes the first in a series of me trying to find a treasure chest. And after this pathetic display of embracing my inner diver, I traveled back to my house after accomplishing nothing. Lovely. Enchanter. Turns out I never needed to leave my house in the first place. And this is actually one of the only achievements that have come out of making something useful. Hey, look at autosave. Nice. I completed some necessary things around the house and I went for a quick mine. And I found some more diamonds. Nice. Okay, not nice. What the fuck? Great, and now I'm back here. Okay, let's do that again. I was strip mining, so I know exactly where to go. Wait, what the fuck? You weren't here the first time? What the hell is going on? This shit sucks. Okay, finally, I'm saved. And after that shit show, I mined a little further and went back up to start getting some more basic stuff done. And after herding these cows into the pen, I was finally able to create the lie. Great, another one? A lot of that's a list of shit in my life after I enjoy this cake and not getting the reference. Oh, hey, look, a creeper. I'll just shoot it. Really? Again? Just make it an achievement at this point. Stop taking me completely out of the game just for doing basic shit. Archer. I like that I got an achievement anyway, but why did it need to completely stop my experience to tell me one thing? After herding 3 more cows and a wannabe, I finally started my dream of becoming a factory farmer, and I was awarded with repopulation. Not for what I'm using these bastards for in the long run, but hey, I will still take the award anyway. Okay, let's do that. Wait. Animals can't enter love mode? The maximum number of breeding chickens has been reached? What the fuck? Where? This is the only chicken I can see from my entire render distance, and as far as I'm aware, this is like 1 of 4 chickens I've seen. Pot planter. Okay, this one is just stupid because I read the advancement description and it literally says I need to plant a flower in a pot. The game gave me the advancement for doing half the work. It's a sign. These were my most creative things to put on these signs, and I am not sorry. I went off to old villages to see if I can get another achievement, and on my way there, adventuring time. I'm sorry, what? There were at least 40 biomes around this time, and I definitely haven't been to half of them. Apparently, I only need to travel to 17 of the 40 to have achieved a milestone. That was their idea to fix a shitty world optimization. Incredible. You know this same system can run GTA 5, right? It's a powerful ass console, but yet they didn't want to take advantage. I don't know why my dumbass thought there would be loot in the very first chest I looted like it was the Hunger Games, but yet here we are. After stealing their literature, I shoved all the villagers into this whole house that I made, which was incredibly easy to do, but you gotta remember, they don't have workstations in this version of the game, and they also don't sleep, so they just kind of exist. I didn't have any idea on how these guys work, and I kind of still don't, but I know I can solve anything as long as it's in a hole. Wait. After creating a comically large arrow for myself, as if I would forget where this village is in this 800 by 800 block world, I traveled across the ocean to fill the rest of my map in, and also to hopefully find a woodland mansion. Oh sick, a wolf. Bro, he let me on the first try? Nah, he's my best friend for life, especially because there isn't multiplayer anymore. And this dog too? I mean, okay. God, at night you really can't see shit in this game, and there's no turning up the brightness either. This is as bright as the game gets. The only thing you can do is turn up your gamma, but during the day it looks like shit, so you have to change it in the menu every time, and it's just not worth it. Eventually, I found 2 more dogs for a total of 4, and after breeding these 2 together, I should now have 5, which should have gotten me leader of the pack, but I guess I didn't tame 5 wolves, I just have 5 tamed wolves. But after taming this one, leader of the pack. Considering every mob is limited by the world, I'm kind of lucky to even get this one. Bro, having 6 wolves to kill everything for you really makes you feel invincible. Well, shit. I think I was gonna try to manually walk back and get all my stuff, but then I realized how far the walk was gonna get, and I got lazy. And that puts me all the way back here. Are you kidding me? I never even met any of my dogs at this point, nor did I put any of these fucks in the household. Jesus Christ, this is the only shitty part about loading from an autosave. Oh, look, a dog! You greedy motherfucker. Hey, look, pumpkins. I finally found some. I totally didn't see these in the first 5 minutes of the video. Refilling in my map, I found a dolphin to which I fed a fish so I could obtain echolocation. Realistically, how many people would know without the wiki or the game flat out telling you how to get the achievement that feeding a dolphin a fish will make the dolphin show you shit? Dolphins are kind of mean in real life. I mean, I guess we're kind of dicks to them too, but kids don't know that either way. It took a while, but the map is finally filled all the way in. And as you can see, there isn't a woodland mansion in my world, which is the only only method of getting post-mortal, but I'll figure that out later. When I got back to my house, I started my rainbow of 16 colors out in my backyard, and I placed down any color I could craft for the time being. And without even going to the Nether had come to me in the form of a zombie pigman that just walked straight out my portal. Anyway, back to wool. With these newfound pumpkins, I can finally acquire bodyguard. Okay, I fully thought up until now it was called hired help, but these were actually cool because they don't spawn naturally and you needed to make them back in the day, so this is actually a novelty. What the hell? Why are you in my house? More wool. Renewable energy. Create charcoal with charcoal. I wonder what genius thought of this one. Dispense with this. Create a dispenser. Okay, just giving more goals to blocks that most players wouldn't craft. That is backed by the achievement clear rate of being only 50%. Wow. Map room. Fill an item frame with a completed map. I really like this achievement because this one just looks cool when done. Except, I'm gonna need this map back eventually, so it won't stay in that item frame for long. Okay, since when was there a giant fucking pit here? Oh, what the fuck? Bro, I can't see anything! Yep, right back here like it never happened. This game gives me anxiety. Reminds me of that one time I tried to eat food and the game jump scared me with a pop-up. Pork chop. Food that doesn't care about you and is out for revenge. Okay, this is my first attempt at making the trampoline achievement. Let's see if I can do it. What was that little baby bitch bounce? Librarian. I did this one on accident just trying to get a maxed out enchant table, but I'll take it regardless. Delicious fish. Cook a fish in a furnace. It does look kind of delicious too. I can't eat it though because I need to be starving in order to get this next achievement, so I have to jump around my house like an idiot until my hunger depletes all the way. I figured while I wait, I might as well get some other stuff done, like getting the rest of this wool, and probably the worst idea I've ever had is to go strip mining by a bunch of lava while I'm actively trying to starve myself. Iron belly. Eat rotten flesh to prevent starving. Yep. I sure did. I tried an old method by putting a creeper and a skeleton in two separate boats to see if I could get one to shoot the other and drop a music disc. And when I got the creeper in the boat, I saved my game because I knew something might go wrong. And it did. Twice. So, good choice on my part. And after reaping the rewards of my labor, I was finally able to listen to some tunes. Music to my ears. Probably the shittiest one I could have gotten besides the broken disc, but it got me the achievement, so I really don't care. I started to prepare for the chest full of cobblestone achievement, which is exactly how it sounds, and it requires me to collect a chest full of cobblestone, and I'm preparing for it by making a staircase up to the surface. After doing a lot of on-camera mining, I found a skeleton spawner, and I remember saving the coordinates to it, but I never actually ended up using it. And look, here's a picture I took thinking I would go back to it. What an idiot. I went back up to the surface to breed my cows again just to realize I had reached the maximum number of animals for this world. Which means... Nice. The only time I actually clicked B to exit the menu and decline the stupid 20-paragraph lesson that holds you hostage. And I got a maxed out pickaxe on the first try. Now that's what I'm talking about. Now mining 1,728 cobblestone will be a breeze. I mined for about an hour and I did this thing where I logged off somewhere random to let my future self figure it out. However, when I did log back in, shortly after my recording software froze. Luckily, you can still hear what's going on, and that's how I'm able to prove that I got Beam Me Up. Here you can listen to me climbing up the ladder I made for the trampoline achievement and hitting the ground and landing and getting the Beam Me Up achievement. Don't worry, there's only one more of these. Here you can hear me mining cobble, then putting it in a chest, and then getting chest full of cobblestone. An achievement so wonderful, seeing isn't believing. I had to edit 2 hours of sound to get this shit. Saddle up. Tame a horse, no saddle required. Here you can see a part of my world that didn't fully generate because it was too busy focusing on the diversity of the world. I came back to the villager hole to trade the coal that I had mined, and it turns out once you upgrade the shepherd once, you just get every color of wool in the entire game for just a single emerald, which would be incredibly convenient if I hadn't already started my wool pile. The haggler. Miner purchased 30 emeralds. I don't understand how I would be a haggler if I got my own, but okay. Thanks to the villagers, it's finally time to pick up this clusterfuck of colors. Rainbow collection. Oh boy, it sure is getting impressive now. This achievement is kind of fucked up because unless you have friends, you have to pay extra money to Microsoft to get the achievement by buying yourself another controller, and then joining your own world, and then walking your sorry ass all the way over to your house just to virtually throw yourself a diamond. Awesome. Thanks, Mojang, for assuming I have friends. Super fuel. Remember when I tried getting lava earlier and it turned out not to be an achievement? Well, I'm going back for that exact same lava that I put back down just to put it in a furnace. Alternative fuel. It's just like lava, but the game actually lets you eat it. Change of sheets. You know that thing you always made your mom do after drinking a shit ton of Capri Sun the night before? Castaway. Eat nothing but kelp for 3 days. Or eat a piece of kelp and then AFK for 55 minutes and then come back and start playing again. So when you're doing something completely unrelated, you get a pleasant surprise. Oh yeah, by the way, it doesn't count how many days goes by. It counts how long it's been since you've eaten anything else. So I literally had to eat nothing but kelp for an hour. After 47 achievements, I'm going into the Nether, and immediately I was faced with challenges in trying to reach the Nether fortress. But at this point, I had gotten maxed out diamond armor, which you could probably say was a bit overkill. Yeah, you like that shit? This wasn't a part of the original script, but what is this? I found this in editing. I don't know why it's doing this. I can't explain it to you. It just is cold, I guess. Into fire. Got some rods from a blaze. What can I say? After getting jumped by some blazes, I left to head back home, and on my way out, I got a wither skeleton skull, only a looting 2 sword, which was a relief because it probably means that once I get looting 3, getting 2 more skulls will be a breeze. Right? Return to sender. Nothing much to say about this one. It's cool. It's always been cool, and it will continue to always be cool. Originally, I was gonna head back to base, but then I realized there was one more quick achievement I could get. Camouflage. The only reason the game gives you to actually wear a mob head in the first place, with a one-time use that spans across any other saves you make. Trampoline. Decided to give this one another go, but maybe it won't be as depressing. Oh shit. 49 blocks should do it. And there we go. Tie-dye outfit. Murder a bunch of cows and color their skin only to wear it for 5 seconds because only bloodshed will satisfy Mojang status quo. Stay in Frosty. After becoming a local brewery and drinking said brew, I swan dived into a pool of lava, which was pretty lit, dude. That was kind of gay, I'm sorry. I decided to go fishing even though it wasn't an achievement, and then I got this, and I think it sparked a side quest. But more on that later, because I think now it's finally time to go to the end. I've been lucky enough to have the villagers to sell me the emeralds and pearls needed to even find the stronghold in the first place, and not even locating the stronghold was an achievement back on Xbox 360 edition, which is kind of crazy considering it had always been an advancement on Java. It was so incredibly dark in-game, I finally caved and turned up my gamma. This stronghold was a bit bugged out, and I was dreading the idea that it had generated like that village from earlier, but after digging around long enough, I found it. Instead of jumping straight in, I mined a straight line back to my base where my other strip mine is, and once I finally reached it, I made a cool entrance so I knew this is the way to the stronghold. And now it's finally time for the end? Question mark? 9% clear rate, by the way? Honestly, this fight hasn't changed in 15 years. It's the same old dragon and pillars. You need a mint. Good thing I remember to bring an empty bottle for the final boss fight. You know, I really wish this fight was a bit more difficult. Yeah, so holding the break button continues to register even after breaking something and becomes the attack button. Looking back, I'm pretty sure this is the only death that I actually accepted and completed the walk of shame back to get all my stuff. After definitely not almost dying a second time, I was finally able to achieve the end. No hesitation edition. You know, after getting the elytra right outside the end gateway, of course, but none of those things are an achievement, so why even bother talking about them? And now it's time to get back to work. Freediver. Stay underwater for 2 minutes. Pretty simple if you ask me. Okay, here's part 2, me trying to find a buried treasure chest, and again, it's pretty bleak, because after 20 minutes of searching and even trying to use ChatGPT to find where this chest could be, I was unable to find anything, which actually ended up being another one of those cases where the world generated wrong, putting a total of 0 buried treasure chests in my world. Is that going to be a problem for me, are you asking? No. That's my future me's problem. The deep end. Killed an Elder Guardian. Yeah, sure, don't give me mining fatigue. That makes my job a hell of a lot easier. 1 pickle, 2 pickle, C pickle, 4. God, I feel disgusting even having to say Atlas's safe word 3 times back to back to back. Dry spell. Dry sponge in a furnace. Sure, because evaporating the water with heat wouldn't burn the sponge or anything. Sniper duel. Okay, this one's a bitch because there's nothing I can do to be able to see the skeleton and shoot it at the same time. So I have to set up a trap and then build a line of 50 blocks away. and prey doesn't despawn before you can shoot it to death. And with all of that, it took 2 skeletons in order to even get the job done. When pigs fly. Something much easier to achieve considering all you have to do is get a pig to hurt itself while you're riding it. The only rule is that you can't cause it to hurt itself. A cheat around this is by logging in on that alt account from earlier and break the blocks underneath the pig your main account is riding on. Oh yeah, by the way, I went back to the Nether Fortress for about 2 hours trying to get wither skeleton skulls and got nothing out of it. Time that I will never get back, by the way, but you can make it all worth it if you subscribe. Kind of shameful, but maybe? What am I doing, you might ask? Oh, I'm just regaining all the time I lost with skeleton hunting by getting riches in a legitimate intentional game design. I'm back in the Nether again trying to maximize wither skeleton spawns because the amount of mobs that can be loaded in at one time is so incredibly low that if I don't do this, I'll be here forever. I thought making a Nether portal would be a good idea because if I can quickly load and then unload the Nether fortress, then I would get more spawns. And that is not how it works at all, and I completely ended up just wasting a lot more time. This ended up being a 6-hour-long recording session, by the way. This was a quarter of my entire day, just wither skeleton hunting. Taste of your own medicine. Heard a witch? The sound is what snitched. I splashed that bitch, then I ditched. Overpowered. Craft something so unfathomably powerful that the creators of the game have to remove it in later updates because it's just too OP. Just so you can eat it so some text shows up on your screen. But shit, all I do is store them in a chest anyway, so I've got that going for me. Have 5 different llamas on a lead all at once. Yep, I did do that. Okay, bye. On a rail. How does one meaningfully place 500 rails in a direction that is actually helpful? I have no clue, but my idea was to place a railroad going towards a stronghold straight from my base, and it didn't work on the first try, which pained me very much so. Because how the achievement works is it checks where you've been from your starting point, and the block difference needs to be at least 500. So I did a safer route, and I mined all the way to the end of the world and placed rails to there instead, and that ended up getting me the achievement. I don't exactly know what compelled me to do this, but when I found a librarian selling mending books, my first instinct was to fill an entire shulker box full of mending. Like I would ever need that much in my entire life ever. The end. Again. Same old shit, but except you don't get as much experience when you win, and you don't get a second dragon egg. I think it's a scam. Great view from up here. One of the easiest end achievements to get because all you need are 2 ender pearls and half a brain, and you can get this in less than 5 seconds. I'm back at it again with fishing when I had a thought to myself, how could this be even faster? Well, why phone a friend when you have 2 hands, am I right? Wait, don't quote me on that. Yeah, as a matter of fact, screw that entire idea in general. I'm making this automatic. A YouTube tutorial and some scotch tape later, and I am fishing away. Then I thought to myself, why stop here? So I added my 3rd and last controller. Wait. Hold the fuck up. You're probably saying, but you said in the beginning of the video that it chipped you on the controller. Well, yeah. But that doesn't mean I'm not scrappy. With this shitty broken controller, 2 batteries, and 3 pennies and some scotch tape, I can create an electrical current that powers the controller. And now I have 3 fully functional controllers, which now allows me to AFK fish farm for all the mending books I would ever need, even though I have an entire shulker box full. This isn't in the script. This is me going off script completely. I don't know why I would do this. The only thing that really sucks is looking at the video playback. Oh wait. Power of video editing, baby. Can't do anything about the frame rate though. Unlike the diamonds and gold, I can't dupe the wither skeleton skulls in any feasible way. So I'm stuck doing this shit until the end of time. Occasionally, I would put everyone on the fishers and just sit around for hours on end. This is my life. Even the game was disappointed. For whatever reason, it shat the bed and I had to restart my Xbox. Let it go. Now please, nobody break out into song and dance. We're in the home stretch now, no reason to slow down. Supersonic. I don't feel very super when I dive into a kiddie pool full of water and get the most G out of any other achievement in the game. Here's my 3rd and final attempt of trying to find a buried treasure chest. Never found it, by the way. Even the smartest computer mind in the entire world was confused on it. The beginning? I have never spent so long trying to get wither skeleton skulls in my entire life. Genuinely, I have around 10 hours of footage of me just searching for and killing wither skeletons. For the love of God, don't waste your life doing what I'm doing. This is for entertainment purposes only. But finally, I collected enough skulls and defeated the wither, which also means I got the beginning. No Hesitation Edition Part 2. Which led me straight to Beaconator, bringing home the beacon since 08, baby. Now we're getting into the part of the video where I had to start outsourcing to other worlds to get the rest of the achievements because my world isn't enough. Feeling ill. I was actually feeling quite alright until this fucker put an axe through my back. Cheating death. Not that it matters anyway because this world is already useless to me. On to the next. Lion Tamer. I feel like everyone forgot this is how you got cats back in the day before they got their own untamed version. I made about 5 more worlds before I decided to go back to my home world to get the last achievement possible in it. Sleeping with the fishes. I actually had to grab the Frostwalker boots from earlier to get this one done, and after standing on magma for 20 minutes, the game rewarded me with 30G. God, I can't wait to just go to sleep. Passing the time. Survive 100 days. I'm not even kidding. This achievement came before Luke the Shittable's YouTube massacre that made everyone want to live for a long ass time in this video game. I would show you the footage of me getting this achievement, but of course, I got it when I wasn't recording while trying to get the final goal of the entire game. And now you're probably wondering, what is the one achievement that Nolan Gamer King had to make 14 worlds just to complete? That, my friend, is Maskströmmen. Which begs the question, what the fuck is Maskströmmen? Or, I don't even know how you say it. Maskströmmen? Maskströmmen? Maskströmmen can only be acquired through using a Heart of the Sea, surrounded with nautilus shells to create a conduit, and then, once one has done that, you are then required to fetch the prismarine necessary to surround said conduit to activate it, granting you the achievement. This shit would take forever! Keyword being would in that sentence because I am not a dipshit. After finally finding a world with a treasure chest that actually spawned incorrectly and just so happened to have a Heart of the Sea inside, I collected the materials necessary to do the one thing I'm best at. AFK like a little bitch because lengthy work is pain, and why not work smarter, not harder, by letting Scotch tape do all the work. And I was lucky enough to have been blessed with the final piece of the puzzle to have just fallen into my hands via an ocean monument. And with enough waiting long enough, that's actually how it's written. Wow, my dumbass or what? And with enough waiting, the stars finally aligned, and I was granted with Maskströmmen. Moskströmmen. I still don't know what that word means, but it doesn't matter anymore. Oh boy! What a whirlwind. That totally didn't take me 3 months to do and then make this video. It's probably important to mention that there's actually 93 achievements in the game, but there's only 80 I can obtain due to the other 13 being online exclusive, which isn't supported anymore. If anyone knows how to get these 13, I'll be more than happy to go back and get the rest. But until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time!